15 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Never Mind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
And good morning. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Wednesday, November 24th, 2021 edition. Never mind the furthermore, the last episode of this show before Thanksgiving. And some programming notes right off the bat. There will not be a comic book spectrum or a stupid o'clock tomorrow night for the Thanksgiving season. Also, another thing is we've been talking about the Indie Author Book Expo at the Valley West Mall in West Des Moines. That was going to happen Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, the event has been canceled due to the promoter and her husband contracting the Sharona Miley Cyrus. Anyway, we hope Jen Thompson and her hubby get well fast. So far, they are only experiencing mild cold symptoms, so that's good. But we are sorry we won't be able to see our friends in Iowa this weekend. And but know this, we will be back. Like Thanos, we are inevitable. All right. So anyway, on to other things. I did comb the sideburns. I swear I did. Anyway, we'll try to have a fun show for the rest of the hour or so. We're going to leave a little bit early today. We've got some last second running around to do. Now we'll give 90 minutes. What the heck? And also Friday, the episode that I was to be giving to the capable hands of Carl Witzman on Friday morning, we still will do, but I will be his guest on the show, so we'll see how that works out. So anyway, we will finish out the work week. We will get through today, and we hope that you have a sensational Thanksgiving Day if you celebrate such things. And please give a thought, if you would, not only for what you are thankful for, but also some love to people who may not be able to find a reason to be grateful this week, tomorrow. So, and they are among us. So anyway, we send out our love to them. And we also send our love out to Plasma Fire Graphics. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. You've worked your fingers to the little nubby bits when you put together a book. And if you're doing National Novel Writing Month right now, you're in the midst of NaNoWriMo fever right now, you know that you've got to put a great cover on that book once you're done editing. Well, Plasma Fire Graphics is the place to go. They do a multiple genre array of art. They also have worked for many independent publishers in the field, so they've got the credentials for it. And they just do really darn good work. And then you also should check out their Facebook page, as well as plasmafiregraphics.com, where you can contact Jeffrey Hayes directly and ask for his rate card. You'll be amazed with how darned affordable it is. So check it out and get his work on your next book. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it does matter to your readers. And we want to thank the Rising Tide Broadcast Network for backing us up on our shows. We're a group of like-minded broadcasters that are looking to help each other rise. And don't forget, today, Dr. John will be around. That's Dr. John Celestri. He is the original gangster, and he is going to teach you how to draw, how to animate, and share his life history, his rich life history, with you on the air. And please check it out. It's a fantastic show. And also, we want to thank our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly service where you can literally subscribe to your favorite creators with a small monthly stipend. And $1 a month will get your name on this card. How cool is that? Also, check them out because they've got some great stuff on their pages. And I'm hearing about more work coming up from these guys and gals. And I am glad I'm backing them. And you'll be glad you're backing them too. So if you want to see your name on this card and reap the goodies that we offer on Patreon, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And I'm seeing the comments are adding up. Oh, dear Lord. So let's try and catch up with them. All right, off the bat, we know we won't. And Michaela Jade, first in the door, take that, slackers. That's right. And check out Michaela's morning motivational. She's still doing them. She's still amazing. And let her give you a kick in the butt. Many men would pay money for that sort of thing. So anyway, Michaela, glad you're here. Sorry, I'm not going to see you this weekend, though. I am still gutted about that. I really am. And Dan Holofield says, I've been here since 7:30. Well, he stayed up all night, probably wait for me. And from this, a small press publisher, Joe D. McPhee, Saturday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Part of the Rising Tide Network, and we're proud to have them. You all like getting here early. Morning, Brian and Madam Executive Producer, all hope all as well. Yes, sir, it is actually, Brian. Turn the site that has your branding on it. That's better, you idiot. Thank you. Anyway, Joe D, we're glad to see you here and looking forward to Saturday night with you as always. Yes, all is well. I just heard her rousing, and I'm drinking coffee. All is right with the world. Dan Hallfield says, I just called up the page as soon as I got home from work, hoping I could stay awake for the whole show today. Well, Dan, I tell you what, Dan, if you tell us when you start to fade, we'll kill the show then, so you can say you made it through the whole thing. And hey, Michaela from Carl Witzman, good to see you. I was here 45 minutes earlier, but I was lurking quietly. Now I have to find my way out of the curtains and pull that ladder away from the windowsill. And kind of like having TiVo, YouTube is already pre-recording your show. Hi, Dan Holofield. There we go. From the Small Press Publisher, Dan says, I've been up since 4:30 yesterday afternoon, worked 12 hours, and now I'm kicked back at my desk, sir. Oh, well, I hope you have a very restful Thanksgiving. Hope you're awake for most of it. And Joe D says, Carl Witzman, I think we like filling up BK's comments before the Facebook riffraff show up. Oops, I say that out loud. That's right. So if you're part of the YouTube, some of my YouTube besties, please, if you have not already, please subscribe to this show. I've been watching this one series of videos, and he says, boop that thumbs up, boop that subscribe button. And actually subscribing is good because you get access to a lot of stuff here, and you'll be notified when I get on the air, and they're better about the Facebook, but we do love our Facebook people anyway. And normal night shift hours for Dan Holofield, poor man. Yeah, I agree, Carl. Wow. And for this Small Press Publisher, who mocks us with this laughter and says, I thought it was just a friendly competition called Battle of the Rising Tide Stars. Everyone gunning for the #1 spot in comments. I can see Carl being our Robert Conrad. We do need some Linda Carters and some Marquee Posts and all, ladies that look good wet, or somebody that looks good in a wet bathing suit. And I didn't mean this timing, but hello, Sarah. Good morning to you, darling. I hope you're having a good morning. And Michaela gets the #1 comment. That's true. It's hard to elbow her out of the way now that she's made the comment. And good morning to you, Teresa Dunn. Glad you're feeling better. Hope the day goes well for you. And maybe we do need a trivia show like that on the network. Battle of the Rising Tide, the only show where it pays to be watching our network. Ooh, Joe, I'm not saying that's a great idea, but I'm writing that down because that just happens to jibe with something I was talking with one of our other Rising Tide friends about yesterday. And I'm writing your name at the top so you get full credit. It is 11/24/2021, Battle of the Rising Tide. Oh yeah, I'm digging that. And I'm seeing other things that we could do to help others with that. All right. No. Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. Wrote it down. I am seeing possibilities. And Scott Crocker, good morning to you, my friend. Good morning, Evermorian. Joe D. McPhee. I love trivia. So do I. I do too. Actually, if somebody would want to, one of our Rising Tide people would like to maybe help organize that. I could do it myself even, because I've got just what I know about comics would probably hobble you all. But anyway, no, I think that would be great. That's a good idea, and we could run episodes if we could figure out how to get people to like contribute to, like, say, my PayPal tip jar, and have all the proceeds go to a worthwhile charity. See, there's another aspect of it. So, but somebody could win a box of prizes from one of us, that we do something. Oh, by the way, Skunk, read your game. Loved it. Loved it seriously. I really did. Love to talk to you more about it. And from this small press publisher, we can make it work. But again, idea would require funding. Leave that to me. Scott Clark, see it now. I would see, the thing is, if I were monetized on YouTube, I might be able to help more. Anyway, you can ask Joe Dog. I used to run trivia at HelloCon. That said, KT does a great job, and she has a projector with PowerPoint slides and everything. Oh, KT, yeah, okay. Yeah, she is a store of knowledge. I can see that. And Joe D, like a scavenger hunt, collect a clue from each show, must watch to win. And hello, Dark Pope says, our darling Sarah. And I don't need funding to run a trivia show. That's right, Skunk. No, but I'm getting some idea. I'm percolating on that, Skunk. But like, say somebody wants to here's something. If somebody wanted to promote themselves, they could come on the show as a contestant. We could run it. And they would offer a prize to the audience for watching live. This has possibilities. We'll work this out. And Donna, Carleen, good morning to you. Mwah. I just finished Lily's The Seduction of Lily Monroe yesterday, and I'm going to post a review on Lulu first chance I get. I truly enjoyed that. That was a sweet romance book, and with a little bit of heat to it, the way I like it. So anyway, that was wonderful, Donna. That was fantastic. I will need to get more from your library. And Carl Westman says, once the Dark Pope gets his first Social Security check, he might donate a prize. Well, let's talk about this. Let's make this work. Ooh, and it could be just a monthly show. It depends on, and we can have rotating hosts. And I even thought about running a trivia show on the network, and the prizes were going to be like ridiculous and goofy. Skunk, I'm not above that either. We could have fun with this. And I'm off from work until Sunday morning. Now, rumor has it I might get to go back to my normal job after next week. Fingers crossed. Honey, you taking off? Yeah. Okay, love you. You want a sip of coffee? Blessings upon you. I thought you'd like it. I've got more. I brought the pot up. I wasn't sure if you'd want some cookies on our way to our chiropractic appointment. And you should be getting home around the time the show ends. Then we can take off and get our special stuff. Yum. I love you. Love you. I'll hurry. Okay, honey. You have a good time. I will. Cookie's gonna go get her spine cracked now. But anyway, no, go to the normal job, fingers crossed. Dan, I hope so much, because I know these weird hours. I've had jobs where I worked weird hours too. When I got out of college, I had 4 part-time jobs, and I was raking in the dough. Unfortunately, one was kind of like a swing shift kind of job. It was an grocery inventory group that screwed me over for my training money. And then there was a I don't even know if they're still around. Hope they got closed down there because they're crooks. But anyway, and then I had like 3 other gigs I was doing part-time, and none of them were on the same shift. And I did that for about 6 months, and I said, I can't do this anymore, because I had like one period where I was awake about 48 hours straight. And that was not fun. Nothing I would recommend to others. But I did it. I noticed it, man. I'm raking in the dough, and I'm like, of course, I don't have any time or anywhere to spend it. This is before you go. There was an online to go to, so and all the kids are going. Tell us more, Grandpa Brian. But anyway, Dan, I hope you do get to go back to your normal hours. Please keep us posted, brother. Please keep us posted. Like, have you ever seen the British show 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown? Skunk, no, I have not. I do love British game shows, though. I was watching one. I can't remember the name of it, but the host was the man who he's one of the producers of Survivor, and he took over the hosting job from Jerry Lewis when they dropped him from the MDA telethon. And he was a great host, but it was like the contestant had to figure out who was lying out of a panel of 3. They had to figure out, or actually who was telling the truth. And all 3 came up with, lies, and the host would grill them like murder suspects. And, and then when they would give their answer, you just sit there and, he'd be like, you just give them the stink eye. It was really glorious. It was great. I'll have to look for that. Is that on, are there episodes on YouTube? Is what I'm trying to say. That would be good. And that's a new one on me too, Carl Witzman. That is great. And you okay, hon?
I forgot my planner.
You'll need your planner, honey.
Yeah.
All right. Have fun. Drive safely.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
Mwah.
Wow.
Anyway, Skycracker says the prizes on that show would always be for something ridiculous. Jimmy Carr. Okay, I know Jimmy Carr. He's hilarious. Would be like, today the teams are playing for this. The countdown stair lift. There's a bunch of episodes on YouTube. Excellent. Look for it if you like raunchy British humor and math and spelling. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Math ain't my strong point. And this is the truth, Skunk. I remember talking to my high school counselor, and it was prepping me to go on to college. And I had decided I was going to go to what was then Danville Junior College. Now it's Danville Community College. And I remember we were sitting in the Georgetown High School cafeteria, and she was like, Brian, what do you want to do with your life? I said, I want to be a writer. And she goes, well, your choices are liberal arts and journalism. And I said, okay, what's the difference? And she goes, well, there's no math requirement with journalism. And I said, okay, I'm a journalist. Just like that. And didn't even give a single thought. And so, like I tell people, I did journalism for 2 years, decided I didn't like telling the truth that much, so I went into retail where I knew I'd never have to use math. And now I'm pretty good at basic math. I was always decent at basic math. But I got really good at it when I had to use it every day. Go figure. Anyway, this idea is getting some traction. Carl, I'm agreeing with you. I think it's worth our discussing offline sometime, maybe in the secret group. But I think this is a good promotional opportunity for the members of the network, and I think it also will, first and foremost, will be a lot of fun, and also could offer some promotional ideas for many people. If there's a bunch of episodes of YouTube, okay, yeah, I will look that up, and that is 8 out of 10 Cats Countdown. I've got to write that down. I'll never remember it. Anyway, 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown. Okay. I love British shows anyway. I dote on old episodes of like Top of the Pops and Ready, Steady, Go until I see Jimmy Savile. And then I'm like, oh no, I could be witnessing a crime here. Anyway, dear Lord, how far is behind is BKM before the show starts? Yeah, it's 10:21 as I'm getting to it. And we're 19 minutes into the show, 19 and a half. And I am still way behind, but you guys are fascinating this morning because it's regular countdown, which is the Channel 4 show, but with a host and guests from 8 out of 10 Cats, which is a comedy panel about statistics. Only the British would have a comedy show about statistics and make it work. And oh crap, they're giving them ideas again. Yeah, no kidding, Donna. But there's good ones. Anyway, I got to unload. I'll be right back. Skunk, we'll wait for you. Is he back yet? Let's just move on. Anyway, about 30 minutes behind Sarah. You're close. Dan, you're very, very close. And Sarah, he loves comments. Keep going. OMG. And Carl, just wait till Friday when I help co-host and making the time down showtime. And Michaela mocks Carl with her laughter. And I think Illinois skipped fall. The leaves changed color for a couple days and fell down, and now it's freezing. Yeah, one of the things Cookie and I like to do is we like to get in the car in the fall, and there are a lot of beautiful groves in our part of Indiana that you drive through, and you're surrounded by all these beautiful leaves changing color. Well, it's like the leaves just started to turn here, and then we had that, let me find it, that windstorm, and blew all the leaves off the trees. I swear to God, one day things just started coming through, and all the trees on our street here were covered in beautiful gold and scarlet leaves. And then I come out the next morning, and all of those beautiful gold scarlet leaves are on the lawns. So Indiana joins Illinois in all this crappy weather. And on typical on for Illinois, you get one day of fall between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. That's it. That's pretty. I'm finding, Carl, that Indiana weather is not much better. Or not much worse, I should say. And ditto, Sarah. It's a cold, nasty day, but that means I can get work done in my warm office. That's what we've got. Errands to run today, but after that, we're sequestering ourselves till Friday morning. Then Saturday morning's the only time we need to get out. We may go out Friday and do some grocery shopping. Although, no, that wouldn't be a good idea. That's Black Friday. And I wish I was Michaela, I wish we were in West Des Moines, but I would rather Jen be safe and us. So, and good morning to you, Rick Bradley. Hope the day is treating you well. And remember, brother, you do have things to be thankful for. And by the way, liked and shared, Sarah. Mwah. Love you, Donna. And born and raised in Illinois, I still can't acclimate to Illinois weather. Well, Sarah, I figure in my many travels, I have deduced that the weather is crappy everywhere. It's just what you are willing to endure. You know, I was born and raised in Illinois. I didn't move out of Illinois till my 50s, okay? We moved over here in 2015, I think it was. So this means I spent about 57 years in Illinois, I think, if you don't count time that I lived in Virginia, around Washington, D.C., and then about 4 months in Newport, Rhode Island. And I count living there as you unpack your suitcase. You put everything out, you find a drawer for it, you find a cabinet, you find hangers, and you start getting your mail there. That is my criteria for a fully move. So I've actually lived in 4 different states. I didn't move here till I was in my late 50s, though. I'm glad I did, though. I wish I'd moved sooner. It was great. And speaking of great, there's Nicholas Tockert Friday nights on the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central Time of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Good morning to you, my friend. Hope all is well. And much love to you and the family on this Thanksgiving Eve. And Manatee Man, the mighty Manatee Man, the master of marketing, is among us, so treat him with all due reverence. Glad to see you here, Nick. And from this Small Press Publisher, FYI, I need to get ready for booth 835 at C2E2 in the first week of December. Oh, that's right. Oh, man, that's right. I totally forgot that. I will try to get up there, Joe. I can't promise at this point. I would really love to go just for one day and hang out, hang with you and my numerous friends up there. I'll see. I can't promise at this point. Cookie may not want me to, so who knows? Because I actually have a sale the following week up in Toledo, Ohio, and I'll be up there at the bookshelf, and we'll have more information on that as time elapses. And I will still get to adopt my dragon this weekend. I can't wait to see them in the flesh, as it were, or the scales. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I trust you will be photographing that in all its glory on your body. Anyway, and me neither, Sarah. Yeah, same here. and morning master of marketing. And it's Brutal Michaela. Holy crap. And Glenn, how are you? Glenn B. Fleming, the incredible writer and artist on Hatch, coming soon to your greasy potato chip stained fingers. And that's the mark of a good comic book. But anyway, Glenn, we're glad you're here. Hope you and Helen are having a fantastic day so far. And let's see, and let's see, I gotta talk to the people. I can't get rid of Twitch drones by followers. By the way, there is a thing on that you might see on Twitch right now. It is some two robots are advertising bigfollowers.com. Do not go to that website. It is a virus site. Okay. So do not go there. And so interesting question, says Nick Talker. Why is there so much focus on public domain free use? Creatives have such freedom otherwise, with no need to hold to pre-existing canon or expectations. That's a really nuanced question. I say nuanced because that's a lot to unpack there. Carl Wilson says, I know, Nick, I always say that. Write your own stuff, make your own way. I agree with that. Part of why I love the public domain is inspiration. I've got an idea for a book series that I hope to get to in the next 5 years. Excuse me. And it involves my fascination with spiritualism in the late 19th, early 20th century, when it was practically a religion unto itself. And we're talking about, holding seances and communicating with the dead. Now, I don't disbelieve in that. I think there could be some people that actually have a gift to be able to do that. But unfortunately, there were a number of grifters who use those beliefs to scam people out of money. And I've got somebody that I was inspired by a 1894 book called A Man of Mysteries. It's not very well written in places. It could have used some severe editing, but I like the character. He's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes who registers even more deeply on the Asperger spectrum. It's like, but it inspired me to create a guy who's up the next level. That I'll tell you more about it later, probably in private. Now, there are a number of people that want to, and then sometimes in my case, it's an homage. That's why I did like Nature Boy. I wanted it to be an homage to the original Jerry Siegel, John Buscema version. Now, you do see some people who use the characters because they cannot think of their own, or they just want to trade on the name and the fandom of that particular name. For instance, there are people doing Phantom Ladies, and I admit I have written a Phantom Ladies story that hasn't seen print yet. But in my case, I try to keep what made the original work. But as far as, and a number of people are doing something called Creative Commons, which is basically, it launches automatically into the public domain. And some people just want to see their work out there being used. The great writer and musician Tom Lehrer, for the next couple of years, has made all of his, he has found a way to he basically went on his website and says, if you want to use all the stuff I have rights to, do it and let me know what you do with it. I want to see what your creativity, how I can inspire you. And basically he says, I know this stuff is all copyrighted, but I'm not going to prosecute anyone, and that's how he's doing that. So anyway, that's what I love about the public domain, in that it is inspiring to me. But in my case, I create new characters from it mostly, except when I'm doing Nature Boy, because I think that character has so much potential for being kind of fun. Same with Spencer Spook and Skyman. I tried to find what made them work, although Spencer Spook and Skyman are not public domain, but they're old characters and I got the rights to them. On the other hand, Volcana is, I freely admit, was inspired by a character called Son of Vulcan, who had his own book at Charlton Comics back in the mid-60s. And it's one of those books that I read it, and at the time I didn't care for it that much. But now that I read it as an adult, I'm like, this is really good stuff. And there was a lot of potential that didn't get the time to be explored. But I took the abilities of the original son of Vulcan, and then I amped them up because there is a magic system in my books. And that's how I exploited it, to adapt to that magic system, which in turn would allow the lead character, Angelique Forge, to be able to take the gifts she got from the god Vulcan and basically take them in directions he didn't anticipate. But she shares the same powers of leaping almost to the verge of flying, but super leaping, near total invulnerability, casting fire, super strength, and also being able to reach into, she can open up a little warp where she can reach into Vulcan's workroom and pull out a weapon. We'll be exploring that more in the second book, but in a lot of cases, Nick, I hate to draw shade on people, but a lot of it, the fascination with public domain with some creators is they can't come up with anything, or they want to just take the name and create something new. Like turn, say, the Black Bat into the Punisher with a hood, that sort of thing. And I think one of the worst pages on the Facebook, frankly, is one called Public Domain Heroes, because the people there have no clue. Even the people running it have no clue about what constitutes public domain. And it's basically their thought is, well, whatever I want to use is public domain. I quit when they had this lengthy discussion on how Superman was in the public domain. And they don't understand the difference between copyrights and trademarks. And I'm afraid somebody's going to get in a lot of trouble one day if they follow that site. But anyway, good conversation, Nick. And that's something that when we bring back Clever Title Pending in January, let's make that one of the topics, public domain. And if you're interested, I'd love to have you on that panel. Ace Bonnie, good morning. What kind of shorts do Cloud wears? Thunder pants. Oh, Sarah, I hope you're writing that one down. And food morning, everyone, from author Kathy Jackson. Mwah, much love to you and the family. Big hugs. You are loved. So are you. I love you guys. I miss you guys. And I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, you and the family. I really do. And I love you too, Keisha Acuff. Hello, beautiful you. Mwah, good to see you. Hope you are looking forward to a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. And you're welcome, Donna. I genuinely enjoyed it. I really did. So I'm going to try to leave a review on Lulu for you, okay? And special stuff, code for Kraken. Yeah, we broke open the dark roast last night. That's good with milk. A healthy dollop of that. But this year it didn't turn that god-awful purple color that when you add milk to it, like it did last year. And are you asking for collections of prize donations? Not at this time, Nick, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. And everyone's saying hello to each other from Desktop Small Press Publisher. Mainly because characters in the public domain have a fan base which would be easier to tap than a new IP. And I see it, Brian. We're going to keep this going for a moment, though. Granted, not many people can bring a new spin to public domain IP, but they would have an easier time to sell because of the inherited fan base. That is it in a nutshell right there, Joe D. McPhee. I think that's a lot of people who... a strong character who flies is nothing new. Or somebody with great strength and a super zapper gun from Weird Civilization. There's plenty of them, but then they can just call it Blue Bolt and based off the Simon and Kirby IP, and they're off to the races. See, and I have to admit that when I got fired from the water company, and I wanted to get a book out there real fast, I found Kindle Worlds, which was a program Amazon had at the time, that where certain IPs were allowed for public use. And Tom King, who was writing that Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow book that I'm enjoying the heck out of, as well as former Batman writer and everything, and the Mr. Miracle maxi series, that's where he got a lot of his first stuff in print. And Jim Beard did a lot of books. Flint Henry did a couple of G.I. Joes. I only had time to write one before I was off on my own. But I deliberately picked Bloodshot. One, because I love the character. That was one of my favorites from Valiant Universe. And two, I wanted to deliberately tap into a fan base. And I made no secret about it. I wanted to tap into that fan base and build up my readership that way. And it worked. And of course, then I go into Sandestein, my biggest selling book. And, that's an example where, where you take something from back in the day that is in the public domain, and then you put your unique spin on it, which is what public domain is about. It is about the exploration of creative ideas by other writers after allowing the creator ample time to monetize it. See? So it's not a bad thing, really. And Brian Rodman says, good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. 'Tis the day before Thanksgiving, and all through the land, turkeys get a visit from the right red hand. After work today, I'll be diving deep into cleaning and cooking prep. Tomorrow morning, I'll be up with the parade and cooking with my turkey hat on. I look forward to seeing that, Brian. You and Robin have a terrific, and Luna, of course, have a great Thanksgiving holiday, all of you guys. Now we are, excuse me, this is funny because Sunday, because we thought we were going to Des Moines tomorrow, we had our Thanksgiving dinner. Now, then fast forward 2 days, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we don't have a show now. And my first thought after coming to that realization was, well, what the hell are we going to do Thursday? we've had our roast, we've had our food, and so what we're doing today, and this is crazy, we're going to go out tomorrow, or actually we're going out today. Today is $5 sushi day at one of our local supermarkets, and they have really good sushi. We're going to get some, and we're going to have it tomorrow. And we're going to probably make some homemade cranberry sauce and stuff like that. And if anybody's interested, I will give you my recipe. It's really easy and a lot of fun. And for those of you who know what my recipe is, this year we made the flavorful liquid was blueberry syrup. That way we didn't have to add any extra sugar. And it was partially on the way to the consistency we want our cranberry sauce to be. It turned out wonderfully. It mellowed out the sting of the cranberries, the tartness of the cranberries considerably. And there was a little undercurrent of blueberry in it. It was really wonderful. I think it turned out great. But anyway, you and Robin and the family have a great Thanksgiving. And Keisha, that project is coming along nicely. I should have a peek for you by Monday. And Scott Crocker says, is being addressed from the That's So Small Press publisher. I've been watching Moneybags on YouTube, but my fave for British TV are The Cube and The Chase. I know of those. I really love those shows. And Brian Robin says, oh goodness, math is my nemesis. I can't handle the numbers. I get indigestion when I see numbers when they're not on a clock. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, my magic word with math is cookie. She can do that stuff. I am totally immune to the allure of math. And Ryan Permisson, thank you for sharing, as always, my friend. And Nick Tocker says, might be a motivation scenario. Money is awesome, but for me, telling the story is the necessity. But then I have strong opinions on piracy for profit. See fanart.com/comic cover ripoffs. Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, you see a lot of homages, some more homage-y than others on comics. And it's like, how many times are we going to redraw Superman #1 or Action #1? That's my question. Although I thought at one point I thought it would be fun to get fan art, and it would be like some of my heroes, like Skyman and Volcana, but in these various covers. And honestly, I think I'd rather see some of these recycled covers as long as they had something to do with the interior, which has been one of my crusades on Comic Book Spectrum as of late. Anyway, yeah, but I'm thinking, Nick, you need to be on the panel on the public domain thing. Anyway, Ryan Permisson says, "Good morning, Nevermore. How are you? We are doing well. How are you doing, Ryan? In anticipation of Thanksgiving, and subscribe right now, right now. Don't you wait. Go to the Nerd Culture channel on YouTube and get that big subscribe, and also check out the 25th anniversary celebration of Star Trek: First Contact we had." On that YouTube address there. It is great. It was a good show. I caught a little bit of it, Ryan. Good work, sir. And Brian Robin says, well, I'm excited to say that I'm joining Pulp Reality #4 next spring. I will be debuting The Midnight Mason and his unholy adventures in occult Nazi Germany in the 30s and 40s. The first short story will be shirt story in this case, will be The Midnight Mason and the Curse of the Black Knights. I'm so excited to share it with you all. I'm excited too, man. I got to read your sample that you posted on private the other day. And I'm decided I'm going to come up with a new character myself that I'm hoping I can be enough issues of Pulp Reality that we can combine them into a book. But I have, now this is not ripping off, but I love the original Spectre from Jerry Siegel and Bernard Bailey from DC Comics. And there were aspects of that original that really didn't get explored very much. And I'm like, man, you passed up some opportunities here. And I'm thinking, this might be fun. Now, how can we change it? And I've got a weird idea the other day that if I can make it work, let's just say it'll be fun. And I'm hoping to have that in Pulp Reality #4. Charles has told me I'm in Pulp Reality #4. So anyway, from snow to such a night, Bobby Nash has something for everyone. Go to BobbyNash.com for some great books. I will second that emotion. Yes, Bobby is a great writer. And Cindy Kemp is a Jedi as well as a great writer. Go to CKOEPP to find out more. She's amazing. And I'm not going to get to see Cindy this weekend. See, or Jen or Michaela. It's like, yeah. But at least I got to cancel my room online. That was nice. I hate calling the place. I can't make it. My event. So anyway, your always says piracy. I'm picturing Nick dressed as Captain Sparrow and brandishing a sword. Oh, and I'll hold his rum bottle for him. And no, that's not code. And I was born in Illinois, says Joe D. McPhee, but have lived in Mississippi and Colorado as well. Weather sucks depending on what the masses is not prepared for. Yes. And it's like you hear people that want to move to like the Georgia area, and it's like, I don't want to move down there, or Florida, because they get bad weather, and Florida has some of the worst drivers. I was in Massachusetts for once, or next to Massachusetts one summer. The drivers were terrible up there. They didn't even take speed signs or right of ways as advisement. It was just like, every person for themselves. And I used to say that after living in New England for one summer, I understood why nobody made a big deal about Chappaquiddick. That thing must happen all the time. Anyway, who's good with camera angles? I'm starting a new series of videos with just my voice shown. Need some advice. I have directed some stuff, and about anybody who writes comics should be able actually lighting is important, and you have to have your angle to show off the feature you wish to show off, and you can take that how you want, Michaela. But there's basically there's not much to know. It's like camera directions, though. It's like pan, which is from side to side, tilt, which is vertically, close up. What I'm in right now on your screen is kind of called a medium shot or heads and shoulders shot. Close up would be like if I got like this. That's a close up shot. Bird's eye view would be from above. Worm's eye view would be from below. That's about it as far as angles go. The rest is your creativity. And Ryan Permisson says, if you want to be a guest on Anti Quote, and they're live on Saturdays at noon Eastern, and we need to re-record, he can do that for you. So join him for some friendly conversation and chance to promote your work on that. Sign up for that Calendly page, all right? And Rick Bradley, I'm thankful I don't have to replace my toilet. Wow, that's a blessing right there. Was woken up this morning with Andrea in a panic on a flooded bathroom floor, slugged barefoot through the cold water and turned the water off to the toilet and got it fixed. You are a stud among studs, Rick Bradley. I've done toilet work before. I actually find that easier than most other types of plumbing. Because basically, worst comes to worst, you unscrew the previous toilet, turn off the water, unscrew the water lines and the base of the toilet, replace the wax ring, then put in the new toilet and replace the water connections with maybe a little bit of the tape to make a good seal, and you can have that done in a day. We tried changing the interior of a toilet when we first moved here. We have one in the basement that Cookie and I replaced the the internal workings of the toilet. It took us 2 days to do it. It was an adventure, but we got it done. So anyway, I thought the seal at the bottom was broken, but thankfully not. Well, that's good. That's good. But sometimes these things just age out. So, but you done good, Rick. Proud of you, man. Take tomorrow off. And Mike Jimmy Larson de Bruin, hello, nevermore. Is mwah to you, Jimmy, Mike Jimmy, and much love back at you, brother. Hey, Cora number 5 is currently funding right now, and I definitely recommend you get it because Mike Jimmy does superb work. He really does. Check it out, and I know he's gonna leave us a link here so we can get in on that. And Nicholas Tucker from the Desk of Small Press Publisher says, we may need you to have you on my show to talk about these opinions. People do not understand the legal aspects to fan art, homages, parody, etc. Hey, I volunteer to be on that show too if you'll have me, Joe. Because I think that's very important. Also, fair use, which is something I'm covering right now on the BK Minutes in the morning. It has to be very, very brief, very specific. But the conversation, the replies are getting interesting, especially since I managed to cite the case that really got me interested in fair use and learning more about it, and that is Carl Benjamin versus Akilah Hughes. And real quick, what it's about was, this was back in 2016, and this woman who identifies as a social justice warrior was basically watching the results of the election and feeling very optimistic about Hillary Clinton's odds. And then as the evening wore on and Donald Trump started getting more and more votes, and this is not a political time, I will not read any comments about that election, just mine. We're not going to get into that, okay? And I'll put people in timeout if I see anything. So if you've already started typing, stop typing and then delete it, okay? But anyway, no exceptions. But anyway, as Akilah was watching the results, she's getting the video of her reactions and everything, which is basically what she does. Reacts to things. Well, anyway, there was a British conservative YouTuber named Carl Benjamin who goes by the name of Sargon of Akkad. That's it. I think I may have misidentified it yesterday, but anyways, he's Sargon of Akkad, and he took Akilah Hughes' original, and I would think it was something like 30, like a half-hour video, boiled it down to about 6, gave it a name that basically expressed his point of view on the political situation. And he ran no commentary of his own, just showed her in a bad light as, kind of like, typical snowflake sort of thing. Well, she turned around and sued him she took him to court for copyright violation. And his lawyer team was incredible. There's a guy named Leonard French who really broke it down marvelously. And I think Legal Eagle did the same thing. But anyway, he took her point to point and basically took the 4 tenets of fair use. It is not just quoting the article location in the copyright laws online. It is basically, there are 4 tenets of it, dealing with the commerciality of it and how much you use and the repurposing and your purpose. The judge ruled that Carl Benjamin won handily on 3 of the 4 points, and the 4th was so close he said, I'm allowing it. Plus, there was some chicanery where Akilah Hughes, this is an aside, basically was saying, well, I'm going to destroy Sargon of Akkad. I'm going to bankrupt him. I'm going to destroy him. And I can't wait to be, dancing and, celebrating with his money. I'm going to get naked and roll around with it sort of nonsense. And the judge found out. They introduced that into evidence, and the judge based part of his deliberation and made it very clear that if you're going to sue somebody, you don't do it in the court of public opinion. You bring it to the court and let me do it. So basically, Carl Benjamin wound up getting every penny he asked for, plus his legal fees. So the bankrupting did not occur. Anyway, so yeah, people don't understand. Well, people just don't bother Joe, to look into the real law behind it. Now, as a publisher, I felt it incumbent upon me, to not just check out the Wikipedia site. And most people don't even get that far. But not just checking out the Wikipedia site, but checking out the resources that led up to that site and the notations in there. And so I've gone to the copyright and trademark pages, and I've read them as best I can. I'm not an expert. I'm just smarter in it than a lot of other people. So yeah, I'd love to talk about that on your show. I'd love to talk about it on my show. So I think we could do a lot. I see a lot of fan fiction, for example, but the tragedy is most is so different from the source that a simple name change would simply run on simpler tropes. I often wonder how many great tales continued. I have had just so much ripped off over the years that I may be excessively honorable about ownership. And I've seen it happen to my friends too, Nick. So I'm very cautious about it. In fact, you'll notice that whenever possible, I credit the originals. Volcana has a long section in the end where we talk about, how the son of Vulcan inspired me there. Santa's sign is no secret. Okay. It's kind of obvious who I'm basing my riff off of, but that's what public domain is about. Now, the thing is, if you are, and it's one thing if you're reading Iron Man and saying, well, I want to do my own version of Iron Man. So you come up with something completely different and use the same, similar ideas of the armored person, and I may be working the Bloodshot kind of thing because I want to get the Coldest Warrior back out there. But I found a way to do my homage to him, Same with Evolution Man from Charles F. Milhouse. That's his love letter to the $6 Million Man. And I see nothing wrong with that. But when people are actively out there ripping off, like YouTube, right? Or not YouTube, but Kickstarter right now, the biggest fundraisers are basically pornography. But, and they come on and say, if we reach a certain level, we'll let you decide which two comic characters have sex with each other. You want Superman and Caitlin Fairchild from Gen 13? Fine, we'll draw 3 pages of them having sex with each other. And the thing is, though, those raise lots and lots of money. Now, the thing is, Kickstarter can't really stop them because at least they can't stop them until they publish it. Or actually, the original, the copyright owners can't stop. Somebody was trying to do a Star Wars thing because they thought, well, there's this one minor character and they weren't using him. I like him, so I'm going to do my own adventures. And we're doing it as a fan homage. You know what? Fan homages, they do not mean to the law. And so several people wrote Kickstarter and saying, why aren't you stopping this? And they wrote back saying, we can't until they publish it, because until then, it's not really a crime, according to our lawyers. Now, somebody else was trying to do a Batman comic simply because he wanted to do Batman and he knew DC wouldn't let him. I think he got a C&D out of it. But anyway, yeah, we could talk about that all morning, and I probably would, but I am so behind right now that anyway. Good morning, Joe Dog McKeel. Stupid o'clock, not on tomorrow night due to Thanksgiving, but back on Saturday night at 11 p.m. following from the desk of the Small Press Publisher. Great evening of entertainment on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and thanking out Michaela Jade and Are Lost Behind the Titles. Yeah, great tales are lost behind the titles. That's it. It's like, and that's a lot of thing I see with a lot of fan fiction. Well, fan fiction, I think Basically, it's fan fiction is copyright violation and trademark violation at the heart of it. But there's just so much of it, it's not worth going after. But it's kind of a fun writing exercise, if nothing else. I'm writing my bad article, and I came up with an idea for fan fiction in there. But you'll see it when it comes out. But no, but when you take something like like I had permission to use Bloodshot. I had permission to use Spencer Spook and Skyman. And something like Volcana, I think, is sufficiently removed from the original, and I think that should be a test. Can the homage stand on its own? I think that's what elevates things to rise above fan fiction, fan art. Can it stand on its own? Anyway, my guess is nostalgia and what spin they wanted to see. Sarah, that's exactly right too. Or sometimes it's they just don't know the character other than the costume and the name. And so they make up their version. And I'm like, if you're going to, and I'll admit the Terrors is based on a public domain character called the Black Terror. But I put a unique spin on it. Yeah, I like to think. And everyone that has seen what I've done so far, like on my Patreon page, has backed me up on that. Anyway, Nicholas Tucker, you may want to follow Todd Black. He has redone a few Sherlock Holmes novels where it wasn't a retelling, but new content based on the old mythos. Yeah, same with Sherlock and what was that one with Lucy Liu? I never got to see it, but yeah. Well, the thing is, in America, Sherlock Holmes is public domain. In England, it is. I don't think. Well, actually, the Doyle estate, the Conan Doyle estate, has a firmer hold on it. But what happened there, in case you didn't know, was the Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, said, "Well, we have the trademarks and the we own the copyrights. I don't care what the law says. We own the copyrights." And so people were licensing the characters, and there was an anthology about 10 years ago that paid $5,000 for the rights to use the name Sherlock Holmes on their cover and etc. And the book sold amazingly well. So the authors went to the estate again, said, "We'd like to do a sequel." And the estate said, "That's fine. There'll be another $5,000." And they paid the $5,000, started to put the book together. And then the Doyle estate looked into it and found out how many copies they sold. And they said, well, we want more money because you made a lot of money, and we want as much of that as possible. And so the editor said, "No, we had a deal." And the Doyle estate said, "Well, we don't care. We are changing the deal. Pray we do not change it any further." And so one of the editors took them to court. And the court decided that the trademark was solid, but that the Conan Doyle, that the at the time of the ruling, I think 6 of the last 6 stories of Sherlock Holmes were not in public domain, that they fell into American copyright protection. But with every year that passes, more of those go into the public domain, and probably in about 3 or 4 years, all of the Sherlock Holmes will be public domain, but only in America. The Berne Convention, which covers a lot of Europe and such, and part of Asia, I think, has a slightly different variation, although copyright law in America is kind of changing to reflect more of the international version of it. So anyway, yeah, but I know Todd Black. Todd's a friend of mine. But yeah, he updated it. Yeah. And I gotta say, originally, Todd wanted to make that like a Sherlock pastiche, and I'm like, don't do that. Go to the source. And if you're going to pull from something, don't pull from Stephen Moffat's vision of it. Pull from Arthur Conan Doyle's. And Todd said, "Oh my God, I didn't realize these were so good." I'm like, yeah, if you do more than watch TV, you'll find out these things. And Rodman Rabbits, Sarah. Yeah, that's a good one. And sushi, yeah. And Great Minds, huh? Yeah, the Payless in West Lafayette has $5 sushi day, and the sushi's pretty good. Nothing beats fresh, but it's really good. And so we're gonna, after the show's over, we're gonna pop out and get some of that and pop it in the fridge. We're gonna have a sushi fest tomorrow. Plus, we're gonna do some baking. I may make my Irish soda bread. which turns out so good every time. I love my soda bread is really solid. It's almost as good as Nine Irishes, but I put less sugar in it. So, but anyway, but yeah. And happy Thanksgiving to all my friends, says Joe Dog McKeel, my so-called friends, and those who do not like me. I cannot imagine anyone who doesn't like you, Joe Dog. I hope each and everyone has a great Thanksgiving with an extra blessing for those that don't like me. May the turkey be drier than the stuffing and tougher than raw hide. Good for you, my man. Good for you. And my family isn't getting together until Saturday. Oh, cool. And redraws of bats or on the gargoyles. And Brian, did you get your Carol playing cards? No, I did not. I expected to get them Monday, and then I checked the. I've got to go back and check the tracking number, but they went to Colorado. And because they were supposed to have shown up here, and and it wasn't until late in the day when they said has left the facility, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then like about 2 hours before the deadline for the night, which was like 9:00, it suddenly pops up on the tracking site as left the facility in Denver, and I'm like, it better be making its way over here. So I forgot to check yesterday, so no, I have not received them yet. I have not received my cards, and I'm looking forward to it because I love Kara. And she's one of the people I want to go see at C2E2 because she's always fun. She and Alfred both. And I miss your face too, Jackie. Jackie, I miss your whole body. I miss everything about you. Darling, how are you? Mwah. Jackie Lawson, an amazing author and a dear friend. Hope you are doing well. Hope the family is doing well, hon. It's good to see you. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. And Joe Doug McKeel says, I want everyone to know I had a wonderful night. I think it was sometime around 1993. Yeah, that's a little fuzzy for me, too. And Mike Jimmy is not funding it. Only went to pre-lunch 2 days ago. Oh, okay. I saw the notices, and I thought, oh, he's funding again. Good for him. Well, Mike Jimmy, keep me posted and share on the Rising Tide publication page, okay? And George Saray, good morning to you, sir. Got caught up on the front from dusk till dark outside the Marvel Studios podcast with 3 episodes loaded last night. I talked about Punisher, Warzone, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, and X-Men First Class. I'm looking forward to that. Check out this man's podcast, part of the Rising Tide Broadcasting Network, and he's amazing. Really fun shows. And I could use some reviews. If anyone would like to get on my review team, reach out to me via social media. I'm easy to find. Get a hold of Michaela. Anyway, Rick Bradley, trivia. That'd be a nice thing to have on my video game show. There we go. And BKM's Times Out are not fun, so don't do it. Thank you from the Decimal Small Press Publisher. Yes, I maintain this cheerful facade, but I take it out on the people that wrong me on my broadcast, though. And I'm not afraid to wield the band hammer. I've got that little list. I check my little list of people I've banned from this show. It's not getting any shorter. Let's put it that way. And as the wonderful Fez man said, thank you, Mike Jimmy. I love you, brother. I pre-launched live on Korra number 5, going overboard with variants, awesome exclusives, and an adorable plushie to boot. Check him out on Indiegogo. I definitely got to get on board on that, seriously. And awesome boundary setting. Thank you. And Nick Tucker, I think fair use dictates a legal level. My comfort level can be more strict as those rules are for me. Yes, and like once said, a good man doesn't need any rules. Today's not the day to find out why I have so many. Anyway, no, my rules tend to be a little more strict. They're not quite as fluid as the law, which is how it should be. Well, it was kind of like Dell Comics and Gold Key back in the 50s and 60s. They did not subscribe to the Comics Code Authority like Marvel, DC, Tower, Charlton, other companies did. But the thing is, their standards for comics were so much more strict than the Comics Code. The Comics Code said, we can't touch you. You're even more, we're the Baptists. You're the Nazarenes compared to us. So anyway, but I think everyone does need a grounding in law in this, or at least access to that grounding, and an internal moral compass. I don't want to do Superman. I have an idea for my Superman pastiche. And the thing is, like my one short book Conflict was, I mockingly call it my one chance to write Wonder Woman. But again, I tried to change enough stuff in there to make her unique. And she is coming back in a story. It was meant for an anthology that hasn't come out yet. And I may take that story back and redo it. Anyway, BKM and Nick Tucker, do you want to have the discussion on this Saturday? Let me check with my beloved. I don't think we're doing anything. I'm up for it. Influence is an entirely different thing from using elements or homages, says Mike Jimmy Lorsha de Bruin. And I agree. The line can be thin, but usually distinguishable. Well, that's true. Look at Superman. Superman did not come out of whole cloth. Superman was an amalgam of influences, such as the dual identity from the Scarlet Pimpernel novel. The look came from circus performers of the time. A lot of it came from this character Doc Savage, who in his advertising was calling himself a Superman. And the earliest drawings by Joe Shuster show Clark, the Clark Kent type of Superman. He didn't have a costume. He was like in a sleeveless T-shirt and jodhpurs, which jodhpurs was something Doc Savage wore considerable amount of the time. And there were other elements that came in later, like the Fortress of Solitude. That was ripped off by Mort Weisinger, who served as an assistant editor on Doc Savage for a number of years before he went into comic books. So Batman also, he's also a book called by Philip Wiley called Gladiator, also was a huge influence on Superman. But Batman is influenced by, again, the Scarlet Pimpernel, the Shadow, the Phantom, and Superman. So anyway, Skunk Cracker says, yeah, Brian, unfortunately, I'm full of good ideas. Skunk, you are full of good ideas, and that's a good thing. Seriously, I love that game system. It was a brilliant idea. I told Cookie about it, and Cookie, this is how she watched Aliens with me. Virtually the whole film, she had her eyes covered, and she gets nightmares easily, unfortunately. But I told her the idea about it, which I'm not going to say it on here, but she told me the idea, and she goes, that's brilliant, it's genius. And it is. I really want to see you doing that, Skunk. I really do. Anyway, Nick Tucker, my interest is primarily looking into OGL open game licensing for open projects. Well, that's cool. That works too. And really all I need is the free time in the world and additional hours of Skunk Rocker. Don't we all need that? I'm telling you. And how many of those people doing those Kickstarters get the money, then say DC or whoever put a stop to their project, and then they keep the money? Rick Bradley, I don't doubt that a bit. And the thing is, if DC or Marvel get wind of them, they may go past the C&D, thing. But I've seen people raise like mid 5 figures on some of their porno projects, using other people's IPs. And if I were DC, or Marvel or anybody, I'd be sending the 4 horsemen of legal doom to them. Hi, honey. Feel better? Feel good? Happy? Good.
Just need coffee now.
Okay. Well, I've got the pot.
But it's empty.
I know. You can fix that, though. I have so much confidence in you.
Well, except that we're going to be leaving soon.
That's true. We are. So anyway, I'm going to put this up here. You may want to rescue that.
I am going to rescue that.
Good idea. Because sometimes it makes noises. Anyway, so yeah, Rick, I don't doubt that a bit. I think it's just a scheme and a scam to raise money, and then they run off with it. And as far as I know, says Skunk Crocker, in order for me to do every single great idea I've ever had, I would need to work about 400 days a year. Yeah, so what about you and the rest of us, brother? I'm telling you. And see y'all later. I have tons to get done. Catch you on the flip-flop. Michaela J. Mwah. Check her out on Amazon. She's amazing. I love you, Michaela. And you have a great Thanksgiving, you and Andy and the whole family. And Elementary is Lucy Lou. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember the name of that. I don't think I've seen a full episode of that. Just a few minutes here and there. So, because I don't watch TV. That's why I get so much done. And Nick Tucker, Meyer and Lafayette has the same deal on sushi. Ooh. They have good sushi. I've had their sushi too. It's pretty good stuff. I like it. And good one, Joe Dog McKeel. Amen. And I think a great example of an homage, speaking of Holmes, is House MD. Conceptually, the show is basically, what if Sherlock Holmes was a 21st century doctor instead of a 19th century detective? Exactly. We're transforming the concept. And while the show takes place in America, his address is the same as his inspiration, 221 Baker Street, if I remember correctly. I think you're right, Skunk. But yeah, there's a great example. And here's another one, the Fantastic Four. There is a lot of evidence, not just the fact that Jack Kirby drew both of them and helped create both of them, but the Challengers of the Unknown were basically 4 people who survived a horrific air accident and decided to do good with their different abilities. Except you add superpowers to the FF. But the original FF didn't wear uniforms. The first 2 issues, they are in street clothes, which, is a beautiful concept. And I think if we had real superheroes, I'm talking about reality and laws of physics bending superheroes, they would probably not be wearing unstable molecules. They'd be shopping at Target, which, by the way, I found out that Target this year will not be open on Thanksgiving, and they said that they have canceled the idea of being open on Thanksgiving to let their people have a day off. And yeah, I agree, Cookie. Yeah, that's what we're celebrating. Said it was an experiment, and they felt that it had run its course. And I'm all for more places closing on Thanksgiving. God bless supermarkets and Walmart that might stay open because people need things. But back in my day, back when the Conestogas roamed the prairie, you got your stuff done on Wednesday if you were going to get it done at all. And you prepped. Prep was the word that was used earlier on this show. You prep for Thanksgiving. And so when midnight Wednesday came around, everyone got to go home, spend a day with loved ones, and no pressure to keep things going. If I had my way, the only places that would be open on a day like today would be like maybe supermarkets till about 2 p.m. and truck stops, because commerce has to keep going, especially right now. So anyway, and Cindy Kep, who I'm gutted I will not get to see you this weekend. I really am. But anyway, hope you have a sensational Happy Turkey Day Eve to you too, darling. Mwah! Glad to see you here. And fun stuff while waiting for turkey to cook. Definitely check me out on Smashwords. My stuff is on there. And more fun to read, to avoid turkey coma. We'll keep you awake with all my good work there. Thank you, Cindy. And for help slicing up that turkey with a sword, call on Nicholas Anthony Tucker, who'll tell you how to carve that bird safely. And then make the turkey disappear thanks to magician John B. Pica, johnpica.com, also available on Amazon. Check out his new book, Night Reich. And good show. Hope your sushi is fresh feed cooking. Thank you, Carl Witzman. Good timing. And we're only 3 minutes behind. Thank you all for cooperating. And the Dastardly Dingo has good gravy. That's why I say every time I hear those guys mouth off, it's like, oh, good gravy. What are they talking about now? Anyway, check them out Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And check out Nerd Culture with Enough Cranberry on YouTube. And I'm thinking Death of a Salesman for some reason now. Desk of a Small Press Publisher brings the green beans. Oh, Joe D. McPhee would like me to be on his show Saturday night. We're going to talk copyright and fair use.
Good idea.
See, okay, I got permission. If Nick's up for it, I am too. Joe D. McPhee, you've got at least one guest. And editing the recipes, that's what Amy Hale does. Check her out. Hey, and I just left her a review of her latest book, Neurosis. Check it out. It's a great, great psychological thriller. I'm proud of her. And has potatoes, Michaela Jade, and what potatoes they are. And who wouldn't love to mash them sometime, right? And Cookie's over there going, ah! I cannot deny his Next, yeah, thank you. We need Madam Executive Producer has spoken, and it has the sweet potatoes with or without marshmallows. That's Teresa Dunn. Next. And the Historical Fencing Guild cuts up the pie safely with swords and all kinds of armed things. Friday nights at 8 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network and YouTube. And Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you thank you from the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. Nick Tucker, what do you say? Nick, if you're still with us, and it's something we can figure out offline too, Joe. But anyway, if you want me Saturday night, I'm yours. Just confirm. And comic related madness brought the coffee. Well, they brought the most important part of any meal. Then it's not just for breakfast anymore. And check them out. This weekend will be CromCon. We'll be able to watch CromCon. See, there is a light in the darkness here. There is a silver lining to be had. Right? Here comes my executive producer.
You have coffee.
We have coffee. Oh yeah, you can have the last sip there.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. I recognize you're working at a deficit there. And we're at the last comment.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Talking fast helps.
Yes, it does.
I'm getting to sound more and more like the guy from the Micro Machines commercial, I think. Oh, and I realized something last night when I was talking to Damien. I can take that thing off and I can make it roam around the room and everybody can see what a pigsty I've created for myself. We're not going to do it, though. We're not going to do it.
Let them have their imagination.
Yes. Imagine the world of Judge Dredd.
Let's try again.
Okay.
Imagine that they're having a good time with their family because you're getting off the air.
She said getting off. Anyway, yes, I am. Yes, I am. We have a few more.
Earthquake.
No!
Earthquake.
Not my $30 camera. Stop that, woman. Stop that. You're mean.
Yes.
You're interfering with my broadcast empire. Such as it is, right?
Yes, it is.
The other people are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yes, you're evil. That's all there is to it. Anyway, let's catch up on your comments here as we wind down the show. Ace Bonnie, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And to BKM and Cookie, don't pull a Mr. Bean and get the turkeys on your head. I promise. And I promise I will not test to see whether they fly or not. Thank you, Ace Bonnie. Much appreciated. Luke Stone Studios has hybrids with coffee. That's the way I take them. Be sure to dunk your hybrids. They are yummy that way. At LukeStoneStudios.com. Check out the great work. Everyone take care and stay creative. Rick Riley, you and the fam, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, my friend. And Nick Tucker, I need to look at my schedule. I have 4 hours tonight, Thanksgiving, 2-3 hours Friday so far. Yeah, Nick, I'd love to be on the air with you, as always, sir. And Cindy Cap Sarnart 76 for vintage cartooniness and fun games after dinner. So Sarnart 76, the artwork of Bill Sarn on Facebook, where everything old is new again. And we love you, Cookie, says Rick Bradley. I'm sure she loves you too. She's making coffee. Anyway, Rick, thank you. And don't forget programming notes. Tomorrow night there will not be an episode of Comic Book Spectrum or Stupid O'Clock because of the Thanksgiving holiday. I will be back on Friday morning. I'll be a special guest on Nevermind the Furthermore with new host Carl Witzman. And Carl's going, wait a minute, what did I sign up for? But no, I will be here on Friday, and Carl Witzman will be the host. I offered him the hosting chair. I'll let him take control of the show. So anyway, that'll be fun. I look forward to hanging. I always love hanging out. What, honey?
I'm taking the trash out.
Okay, thank you, sweetheart. To make room for the trash we generate tomorrow. Anyway, but anyway, thank you so much, Carl, for doing this Friday show in advance, and we shall have fun. And Carl will be the host. I'm going to sit back and do what he tells me to do. That should be interesting until I need to take over. Anyway, so anyway, Skunkcracker says, oh, don't worry, Brian. At some point, I will get done with the things I need to get done and then work on the things I want instead, which are not always mutually exclusive. I agree, man. I just think that Game Supplement has so much potential. I think it's so much fun. Cindy Kep says, okay, enough links for today. Stay tuned for more fun. Have fun. Don't forget to tip your host, hashtag bring cookie home, and sign up for Rising Tide's newsletter. Definitely go to risingtide.pub, our brand newly redesigned page. Please check it out. You can see past episodes of our broadcast. Damian Waldron did a great job, and if you want him to work his magic for your website, contact Damian Waldron or get a hold of me, and I'll put you in touch with him. And Cindy Kep, thank you for being here. Go to ckoepp.com and please sign up for her newsletter because she is amazing. Anthony Bouveau, Andy, how you doing, man? Everyone, how are you guys? We are doing well. Hope you are looking forward to a glorious Thanksgiving tomorrow. And I'm going to get to your book soon. I'm going to get to your book. I'm reading like a lot of short books right now to try to tell myself I'm catching up. So, anyway, hope you're looking forward to a great Thanksgiving weekend. Thank you, my friend. Hope all are well. Happy pre-turkey slaughter day. That's right. Let the carnage reign in the name of deliciousness. And Ace Bonnie doing what Carl says. Be careful, Brian. End of line. Yeah, seriously, it could be. No, Carl's got a lot better judgment than I do. And Sarah, love you to the abyss and back always. You too, sweetheart. And I'll talk to you later today, hopefully. And have a safe and happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I will see you all Saturday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time on Stupid O'Clock, followed by the not Stupid After Show, but Dan Hollifield's Last Man Standing. Great nerd conversation. You'll love it. Please check it out. And folks, moment of seriousness here. Thank you all. And just want to say, and Anthony's got a comment here. Doing wonderful, Brian. I hope you enjoy Thanksgiving in my book. I know I will enjoy both, Anthony. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, brother. And I love you, man. And I love you guys. Thank you for putting up with me this morning. And we're going to go get the last of our Thanksgiving feast. But anyway, please take a moment today and tomorrow and remember that there are people, not to bring down the show, but there are people who don't have a reason to be thankful this weekend. There are people who are suffering from poverty. There are people who are suffering from exposure to the coronavirus. People that have had personal tragedies, and tragedies around the holiday are the worst. I lost my mother on New Year's Eve. Okay, took me a long time to get anywhere. I've never been in the mood for New Year's ever since, as you can understand. But there are people who are hurting right now. Please send some positive energy to them, and also please enjoy your day. I'm sure each and every one of us here on this program have something to be thankful for. I am thankful for all of you. It sounds cliche, it may be, but I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be doing the writing if it weren't for you guys and gals. That you guys and gals seem to know when I need those attaboys and when I need the tide to rise for me, and you come through so very well. And I hope that I can do the same for the rest of you. And I need more Haunting Tales of Bachelor's Grove comics in my life. Anthony, we might be able to fix you up, my brother. And yeah, Brian, to elaborate, says Skunk Rocker, I have 2 tabletop games, a card game, several movies, a couple of video games, some musical ideas, a novel or two, a few TV series, and maybe even a comic book in my head. You got all weekend, Skunk. It's a long weekend. Get it done. And I'm trying to get to do all that while also working on media projects for other people, my professional wrestling stuff, and helping out with Scrub House related shenanigans and HalloCon. Honestly, right back at you, Daniel. Love you, man. Seriously, and your books are getting read too soon, I promise. But anyway, thank you for the comments. Thank you for being here this morning. And again, hope you all have a safe and blessed. May the blessings be upon you, because you guys are really awesome. It's 3 days for y'all. It's like 9 months for Joe, Dog, Chris, and me. That's true. So see, you got 9 months to get all that stuff done, Skunk. Anyway, I love you, Skunk. I really do, man. And one of the joys this year, I have to say one of the things I'm thankful for is HalloCon. Getting to meet you and Dan and Joe Dog and John and Chris and everybody. And Skunk, pick one. Do it, move on to the next. There you go. That's how I have to do things. Good advice, Nick Talker. And anyway, all of y'all have a great, great Thanksgiving weekend. We are not going out tomorrow. It's or tomorrow or Friday, because that's Black Friday.
Why should we? We have all the Universal monster movies.
Yes, we've been binging The Mummy. We got through the original 5 Mummy films, and probably tomorrow will be the Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. And it's been like an episode of Mystery Science 3000 around here. Especially as the thing progresses. It's been really fun. And time to go shopping and don't die feed cookie. Yes, Joe D. McPhee, you are so right, my friend. I will stop now. And as always, folks, again, thank you for watching this show. Thank you for being here. And also we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics. That's who. for sponsoring this episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Yes, timing, Cookie, it's everything. My microphone is muted and I've timed it perfectly. Anyway, if you want a beautiful book cover, a wraparound book cover, like the spine and everything, contact Plasma Fire Graphics. They'll also create the graphics you need to sell that book, as well as a beautiful book trailer, all for indie creator prices. You can afford it, believe me. And they're working with us on some stuff like the Terrors. I'm excited to have them in my corner, and you will be too. Go to their Facebook page for Plasma Fire Graphics, and then also go to their webpage, plasmafiregraphics.com, and inquire about their rates there. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters to your readers. And we want to thank our Patreon supporters who every month send us a little bit of money, and it adds up, and it keeps this show on the air and looking good. And if you would like to see your name as one of them on here, or if you want to be anonymous, we can work that out. But anyway, if you want to support the mission of the Rising Tide, please become one of my patrons on Patreon. But you get stuff for it, believe me. If you want to find out what, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And thank you to the Rising Tide Broadcasting Network, who keep this show going. We're like-minded broadcasters trying to build each other's broadcast empires here. So please check out what we're doing. And I don't think the Truth Mongers is on tonight. But anyway, tomorrow is a clean day too. But BK Minutes will start every day off, give you a little bit of information, maybe make your creative career move forward a little bit. So please check it out. Please check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network page on Facebook, and please give it a like. And also, if you've enjoyed any part of this show, please, and you haven't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube. We would like to have another push, maybe not for Christmas, but maybe for my birthday. We'll go and try to get some more people. Maybe my Russian bots will come forward again. Anyway, we have some last comments here. And Cookie really needs to do voiceover work. Seriously, says Nick Tockert. I agree. She's got a lovely voice. And Rick Bradley said, well, of course, look at where it came from, right? Anyway, I found out HBO Max has 3 of the Dracula Hammer films. I'm a happy boy, says Rick Bradley. That's a reason for jubilation right there. And Scott Barker says, anyway, it's about that time, and it seems you're wrapping things up, so don't die. Feed Cookie and eat turkey. Happy Thanksgiving, evermore. And happy one to you, Skunk. I hope you have a great one. I really do. Love you, man. And I love you, Anthony Bovo. Everyone have a great and wonderful and safe Thanksgiving. I love Abbott and Costello, meet Frankenstein and the Mummy. Say hi to Cookie. Hi. See, you got a hi back. And Damian Walbrun. Hey, I just got here. Where's the party? Oh, let me know offline. How did it go, man? How'd the job interview go? And everyone have a wonderful and restful holiday. Damien, thank you. Yesterday was fantastic. Damien and I were chatting, and I thought it would be maybe an hour. And 3 hours later, it's like, ooh, I gotta go pee. Anyway, Damien, thank you, man. I'm glad we solved all the world's problems. And we may have something that we discussed earlier on the show. We might be able to do something with some toys. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting us during this year. I am grateful. I am thankful for all of you. And let's move on up. Let's rise together and create some new triumphs as we go. So hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday. We'll have a couple messages after the show from some sympathetic folk to us, and hope you take advantage of their services and their goods. And don't forget Black Friday. Support an author. I'm available on Amazon. I think I may use the day to promote, but please check out. Give yourself a gift and support creatives while they're still alive to enjoy the benefits of it. Okay, don't wait till they turn 27 and cack themselves. Anyway, have a great Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Sorry we won't see you in West Des Moines, Iowa, but we'll be around all weekend. And it sounds like I'm going to be on Joe D. McPhee's show Saturday night with any luck. And as always, folks, have a great Thanksgiving. Stay smart. Stay safe. Wash your hands and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great Thursday. Have a great rest of your week. Happy Hump Day. Happy New Comic Day. And we will see you Friday morning with Carl Witzman. That's the host of Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Be good to each other. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Nevermind the Furthermore.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
Hey, yo, Pops here. Are you looking to be on Monday Madness? Is Monday no good? You need a special edition? Are you looking to be on the first timer spotlight on for you new guys? Launch parties, countdowns, CromCon Monthly. We got it all right here at the Madness Comic Network, providing online promotional services for the indie comic community and proud sponsor of
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Volt podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on Indie Volt, indievolt.com, the Indie Volt YouTube channel, and the usual Indie Volt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
Stormgate Press presents a collection of 7 new short stories from today's leading authors and illustrators in the new pulp genre. Experience courageous two-fisted heroes and their intrepid and often dangerous exploits. From dark, watery depths to high-flying heights, these fantastic tales span the globe and take the reader on fast-paced adventures in classic pulp style. Take a seat as we pull back the curtain on Days Gone By with edge-of-your-seat storytelling in the vein of Golden Age era pulp fiction. This is Pulp Reality. Available now from Stormgate Press on Amazon.com.
Secrets, trust, worth. The bond between souls intertwined within otherworldly intrigue. Michaela Jade brings forth the Elite Warrior series, a collection of dark fantasy romance novels set in a twisted world where power lusts in the hearts of men and devotion seduces the souls of women. Warrior's Secret, Warrior's Trust, and Warrior's Worth. Available now at authormichaelajade.com.
From author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today. Southwest of Chicago, there is a small, secluded cemetery known as Bachelor's Grove, and it is one of the most haunted places in the United States. Author Brian K. Morris brings you a collection of writings that will help you navigate this ghostly graveyard, if you dare. The Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove is available now on Amazon.com. Get your copy today. From author Brian K. Morris comes a tale of irreverent holiday horror, told with much inappropriate humor. Dr. Victor Frankenstein creates the spirit of giving himself. Ho, ho, ho. Santastein, or the post-holiday Prometheus. Available at Amazon.com. Get your copy today. From author Brian K. Morris comes a classic hero in a high-flying, fast-paced, and action-packed steampunk adventure. The original Skyman battles the Master of Steam with an introduction by comics icon and historian Roy Thomas. A Rising Tide, an Ace Comics publication. Available now in print or digital format on Amazon.com.